buddy. As Ollie, you want to kick us off, man?
Dean, what impressed you most about the way you guys approach this role?
Through the week, there was some concern from me. It's just, I don't know, we were just kind of getting over it, all just being a little bit flat about, guys going down and another concussion and things like that. But as the week, got closer to the game, you can see there was a really good edge about us that, hey, we're just going to go and have a real swing at this one, with these guys down. And CG's talked about opportunity and, the opportunities that KB got tonight. Flynn Cameron was amazing. Hit big shots when we needed, to keep the scoreboard ticking over. And I thought, Campbell Blogg just looked really comfortable out there for his first, major minutes in a pretty big game. For him to look that comfortable out there was great. So, those guys had to step up, but CG and Joe both needed to be really productive for us tonight, and they were magnificent.
You were in a similar sort of game last week against Perth. Grind that one out. You grinded this one out. What does it tell you that this team can grind out wins like this, even when you're so undermanned?
Yeah, it's a great character building kind of thing. It's a confidence to have if we've got our. What is he, 13th, 14th guy, Bloggy coming in and playing great minutes like that, our depth is real, and, we knew it was going to be tested tonight, but the minutes we get into him tonight and Flynn to say, hey, if something happens again through the season, and that was the biggest concern a little bit, is like how we're going to go with ball handling, what kind of pressure were they going to put up the floor, and, it was pretty comfortable advancing the basketball tonight and, getting into our stuff and being able to execute and trying to pick on some advantages that we thought we had.
Where does your head go to as a coach when you're losing a ball carrier in Delhi and someone who can score the ball like Ian does, but still knowing that you have someone like CG and someone like JLA who can kind of carry the load when it comes to scoring and basically all of those that usage?
Yeah, you look at how much you're going to ask those guys to do. We didn't get to the point where we really needed CG to carry the ball up the floor tonight, but we had things where we're going to have JLA carry the basketball and do some different things and trying to release some pressure in the backcourt. But, I thought we found some advantages as a group. We accepted it and we went at it and attacked and, got our share of free throws against this team where, they've been so good at getting to the foul line. They were again tonight and, we clogged it up pretty well and, but we've still closed out to challenge three-point shots. Mola makes a few big ones, Trangy makes some big ones, but, generally, other guys didn't really make shots tonight.
Chris, this was a similar situation last time you guys were undermanned where you had to carry a little bit more of the scoring load. Do you relish these sorts of moments?
No. I want my team to be together on the court. I much prefer when Ian and LT and Delhi are out there. So I think, when there's like deficits in that sort of finishing of plays area compared to what we usually have, I think the guys just kind of organically found me a little more at the back end of the shot clock. And I mean, of course, there was some god-awful decisions from me in there at times, but I needed to be aggressive, and I thought we did a good job, especially like Rob in the game, when KB was in the game, identifying when they'd send two at me and drop it down and then trust those guys to be able to make plays. Rob's a smart basketballer, so to have him in there, in that short role and making decisions, he was big for us.
Flynn Cameron has been extremely effective all season, but he got bigger opportunity tonight. It was really, really good. What are your thoughts on him and sort of where his career is at so early and how good he is right now?
My thoughts are I'm really proud of the way that he handled himself tonight. As Dean said, for a lot of guys, it was a big game and big opportunity. And I think the best thing that I see with that is like he's a worker. He works and he works and he works. So the way I think, that's why you work, so that when opportunity presents itself, you're there to take it and grab it, and that's what he did. So it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Chris, when Joe's game so dominant on the inside, does it help the guards? Does it open up the play for you?
We didn't see too many like low post ups from Joe tonight, where maybe they may have sent a double. We did a good job of getting him in isolation spots at the elbow, and as Dean said, him bringing the ball. So when that happens, and especially if they're guarding maybe me a certain type of way, that really opens up some space for him. In the same way, when he's then getting bucket after bucket, naturally they'll sag in a little bit and he can open it up for the guard. So I think there was a really good balance.
CG, at the end of the game, I just watched it as the buzzer went and you were nodding into the crowd. Can you give us an insight into what you were thinking there?
It's a good win. There was a lot of people in the crowd that we see every week at our games, so awesome for them to show out, awesome to have a sellout here. Crowd was great, a lot of Melbourne United fans, so yeah, just thanks for the support, and we can't wait to get back here for our home game next week.
Dean, the last 2 minutes of the quarters, you've outscored them 24-8 in the last 2 minutes of every quarter. How important has that been, especially in crunch time in each of the quarters that you've won today?
It's a nice stat to have. I'm proud of, second quarter defence, fourth quarter defence, holding them to 18 and 16, doing a good job of, the best we could, keep them off the line and wall up and make it really difficult for Creaky and Sauce in the paint. Everyone was bought into what we needed to try and do today, and to grind out a 24-16 fourth quarter win on the road is fantastic. So proud of how we closed out plays.
Dean, we spoke a little bit about coaching on the fly last week when people were going down and having to figure, work your way through that. How was that different last week to today? Did everything go sort of as you wanted it to?
Yeah, I think that we were just a group that, tell us what you want us to do. And I think in the moment of the game the other day with all that going down, it's do we get the clarity of exactly what we need from everybody? Probably not as good as we do when we know, hey, these three guys are out. KB, you're starting. Robbie, you're gonna back him up at the 4. And how's our offense look with you two? Ariel, you're coming off an injury, but you can play. So go ahead and support Joe tonight. And so there was real clarity and just giving the confidence to Campbell that, hey, you're going to play real minutes tonight, and Flinny, we're going to need 20 plus minutes from you. And so I think it's much easier having a few days to get everybody understanding their role and not just having to wing it on the fly like we did.
How heavily do you lean on your assistants in a week like this when there is so much change? Is there more onus on them?
Yeah, they do a fantastic job. Was Barlow's scout tonight, and he's done a magnificent job with both his scouts. We had some other options to go to defensively, and that we worked on, and took a couple of days to buy into that, and we didn't really need them today. We felt that we were good enough with our base coverage, and I love the way that all our assistant coaches are contributing.
Dean, since you've been here, the team's about to kind of hang their hat on the defensive end of the floor, and I thought today was a great example of really gutting out a win on that end. How do you assess where this team's at, given all the new faces you have this year, in terms of where you want to be by the end of the season?
Yeah, I think that was the challenge for me to the group today, to say, regardless of who's playing for us, can you keep the identity of the club, and can the guys come in, and have we done a good enough job with having these guys playing our own little summer league and continue to sell the message about who we are as a club. So I think that was a massive reward for our coaches and everybody at the club to say, we can slot people in and they can do very similar things. And now they gain the confidence to, when their next opportunity comes, when we get people back, that they'll be more than ready.
Have you got any early indication around availability for next Sunday yet for the three guys that are out?
Yeah, Luke is symptom-based and he's getting better. Every time we walk in the gym and there's an opportunity to play, Ian just wants to put his uniform on, and so we've just got to be super smart with him. There's been too many reoccurrence of his injury, so we've got to be super smart with him. And Delhi's making good progress as well. So do I know if they're playing against Sydney? No.
Dean, sorry, Max, jump in.
Dean, Max Beck here. What did you learn most
I guess, about the side through grinding out this win tonight?
What did I learn about our group? I think that point that I just made was probably the big one, that other people can step in and keep the identity of who we want to be. But yeah, you know, it was always going to be could we get Joe really effective shots and CG really effective shots? But I thought they both hunted the great shots that we wanted from them tonight, and everybody was willing to accept that. You know, I thought Shea, you know, it was a big one for him, 4 fouls. When do you put him back in the game? I thought he closed out the game really well. He wanted to go in at the 6-minute mark. I think it held him out for another 40 seconds or something. But yeah, there was just you know, we could have easily, you know, rolled over a little bit at different times. But yeah, this group just had an absolute hunger to keep, you know, gutting it out.
How do you assess those kinds of moments where Shea's so eager to get back on the floor and have that impact towards the back end of games?
Yeah, gut feel. You know, that's I think that's part of coaching, right? You know, you trust in people. You know, experiences from the past, and then their desire to just go out there and do the right thing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys there that I want to trust in how long they can play with foul trouble.
Chris, you guys have spoken a lot tonight about Campbell Blogg and Flynn Cameron, and I guess stepping up to fill those voids in the group from throughout the week. And you've mentioned how you've been proud. How have you viewed the way specifically those two guys have gone about it coming into this one?
Like Dean said, you know, we have a system and a style of play that we want to live with, and I think when you're coming into extended minutes, the best thing you can do is do the things that your team values and your club values. And I think maybe first possession, you know, we'd harped on about certain guys for them being great offensive rebounders. First possession, Campbell Blogg gets to a situation, he lays some wood on a guy and gets his first rebound, and you know, they're the things that we value. You know, missed a shot, doesn't matter. He locked down and got you know, a couple of good stops and 3 good rebounds, all in a physical sense. So, and then for Flynn to just go and trust himself, that's what we spoke about, right? Like, guys are out. You have to go and be aggressive and trust that you've done what you need to get yourself ready for these games, and both of them did that.
So far, you've been incredibly consistent so far, CG, this season. Is there anything that you've done in the off-season or a tweak to anything to, I guess, increase that shooting percentage?
No.
More reps?
Always get my reps.
Last one, Olga.
Chris, just early feel on Sydney, one of those offensive teams, very switch heavy on the other end. Could be 1 versus 2. What's the early feel on them next week?
Early feel, good team, new system, different system to kind of what we've seen in a little while in the NBL. So, like always, we'll lean on our coaches to give us the best plan possible, and I'm sure there'll be a big crowd. You know, our fans have been turning out in droves. It's been so good. So another home game for us before the little fever break. I want to see a big crowd, and hopefully we'll have a good game plan and try and get a win.